Today, on Starfield Essentials, your weekly Starfield news report. PS5 and DLC 2 in 2026, free Apollo 11 quest, Dalek Spacesuit, religious writings in Starfield, Xeno Ambassador, Bounties fight or flee, equip your fists, Dark Side of the Honeymoon, Paradiso Resort Hotel expansion, Immersive Workbenches, Summon ship assistants and traders, Mod Index and BA2 counters, and Watchtower update. All stories have chapter markers for easy navigation and links in the description for sourcing. My name is Richard. Let's get started. PS5 and DLC 2 in 2026. I usually don't report on rumors, but we now have two apparently independent reports indicating that Starfield is coming to the PlayStation in 2026, along with Starfield's second DLC. These are still rumors, and some of you only want studio-announced facts. Some of you only want news on the game, and not mods. If I say nothing, some of you ask if I've seen it, and what I think. So I decided to wait until I had seen reports from what appears to be two separate sources. You can argue that maybe they aren't independent, and that's your right to do so. The source of the latest rumor is James Lara from gaming site MP First. He wrote on the 1st of August, Starfield, on PlayStation, won't be released in 2025, partly due to the RPG's weak sales of the first expansion, Shattered Space. And I'm not quite sure if that's true. Some of you have asked me about that. I don't know what to think about that. Instead, Microsoft is leaning toward releasing the Starfield PS5 version in spring 2026. Starfield's release on PS5 is planned to coincide with the game's second expansion and other quality of life updates. We are also not expecting any announcement about the PS5 version of the game at this August's Gamescom. This is fine by me. I would rather Bethesda take the time it needs to get the game in the best state possible and release new content and DLC that are worth the wait. As you can see in these videos, I have plenty to talk about every week, even without new official content. I am sad that PlayStation players will likely have to wait a bit longer. I'm sure you'll enjoy Starfield once it's available on your platform. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. Almost half of you watching are subscribed, but half are not. If you want to tell the world and YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content, subscribing is a great way to do that. Thank you to all subscribers for helping this channel break the 6,000 count this week. We are a small but mighty force for good in the Starfield universe. From one captain to another, thank you. Next, free Apollo 11 quest. One of the concerns I hear regarding Starfield modding is the low number of new free quest mods. Modder Ehlnada has stepped up to the plate and added a small free quest, building on the work done by 510 Deshawn. Quest for Apollo 11 Spacesuit by Ehlnada is available on Nexus Mods. This is a pretty simple and straightforward quest, but it demonstrates how one modder can integrate free assets introduced by another. The setting is also well thought out. I can't tell if it reuses an existing location, but I thought it was excellent, whatever the case may be. You start this quest by locating a slate added to the museum in New Homestead. My favorite part of this quest was encountering spacers wearing the Apollo 11 suit. Great work Ehlnada for the quest, and Deshawn for the suit. Next, Dalek Spacesuit. Speaking of suits, this may be an older mod, but I just found it, and it's really fun. We have a ton of Star Wars IP added to Starfield by modders, and some Star Trek and Halo IP. Last year I published a video showing at least one modder was working on Doctor Who content. This past week I decided to suit up as a Dalek, and it was extremely fun. Dalek Spacesuit by LJXALKS. There's gotta be another way to say that. Is available on Creations and Nexus Mods. For some of the video, I used the Incapacitator 3000 to stun NPCs without triggering their aggression response. Here's the other Dalek suit that you can wear. What's a Dalek got to do to get some service in this Terror Brew? Nobody's listening to him. Look at that. They can fly, right? They got boost packs so they can jump up, but yep, sorry Terror Brew employees. You're not giving the Dalek the coffee that he wants. You're gonna get hit with the Incapacitator 3000. Later, I unleashed the full Dalek experience by equipping my character with a Beowulf and bringing old-school Dalek mayhem to New Atlantis. I really enjoyed this mod. Thank you, LJXALKS. Next, religious writings in Starfield. Sure, let's leave the Dalek up there causing mayhem during this next story. Redditor DragonflyOpening5895 posted a discovery to the NoSodiumStarfield subreddit. It points to a blog post by Shane Leesigan. Shane was a quest designer at Bethesda for Skyrim and Fallout 4. He left Bethesda in 2013 and became a Jesuit in August 2015. In 2017, he met with Emil Pagliarulo, design director for Starfield, who asked Shane to develop religious writings for the game. These included the foundational texts, recruitment texts, and personal journals associated with the Sanctum Universum. Shane has posted some of this material online, along with his thoughts on developing them. This is another example of how deep Starfield is, if you care to slow down and look at it. Thank you for sharing this, DragonflyOpening5895.
Oh, look at that, Xeno. Well, is that not one of the cutest Xenos in the known systems? I absolutely love the fox bats, but trust me, I know better than to try and pet that. They're as equally deadly as they are adorable.
Next, Xeno Ambassador. One of my favorite mods for adding new gameplay mechanics is Xenomaster by Ghostrider 231. I profiled this mod a while ago. During the last week, Ghostrider 231 added a free new NPC voiced by Tommy from Math Productions. Xeno Ambassador by Ghostrider 231 is available on Creations and Nexus Mods. I like this mod because Tommy is sort of a tutor on how to use the Xeno toolkit. He seems like a real character. For example, when I met him, he recognized that I was also a Xenomaster and that I had a foxbat as a companion. There is no native way to recruit Tommy and his Xeno pet as companions. However, you can use Ghostrider 231's multi-tool axe to add Tommy to your party. Now you're running around with another Xenomaster. I think it's worth getting this mod if you're at all interested in Xenomaster. It's great to get a little extra help with the mod's concepts. Tommy also sells items that you might want for the full Xenomaster experience. Great work, Ghostrider 231 and Tommy. Next, Bounties Fight or Flee. Maybe while you're running around with your new Xeno friend, you'll want to bring in some random bounties. Modder DustyRumps, aka Ebil303, has extended the game mechanic with a new mod. Trackers Alliance Fight or Flee by DustyRumps, aka Ebil303, is available on Creations and Nexus Mods. This mod does just what it says. It offers bounty targets an opportunity to immediately fight or run away after being scanned by the player. The default chance is 40%, but for the first demonstrations of this mod, I cranked it up to 80%. I later returned the value to 40%. It's more fun if you aren't sure that the bounty will basically immediately run or fight after being scanned. This is another example of a mod that keeps Starfield feeling like Starfield, but adding a bit more to the game loop. Great work, DustyRumps. Next, Equip Your Fists. The next mod adds a small convenience factor to Starfield combat. In vanilla play, you have to unequip a weapon using the game menu if you want to bash someone with your fists. Would it not be fun to switch from a weapon to using your fists simply by toggling a favorite? Now you can. Equip Your Fists by Vault Dweller 321 is available on Creations and Nexus Mods. This is another simple mod, but it adds a nice element to gameplay. Great work, Vault Dweller 321. Next, Dark Side of the Honeymoon. Earlier today I talked about a small new free quest. Well, I have another courtesy of modder Scotty Knows. Aye, Captain! Dark Side of the Honeymoon by Scotty Knows is available on Creations and Nexus Mods. This is a short quest that takes place entirely at the resort of Paradiso. I enjoyed it, but I didn't have to fight anyone to resolve it. Beware that at the moment, there is no voice acting for the NPCs. If that is important to you, maybe wait until the modder adds it. They have some friends who are voice actors, and they plan to contribute in the fall. I suppose you could also volunteer to add voices yourself. Thank you, Scotty Knows. Next, Paradiso Resort Hotel Expansion. While you're visiting Paradiso, you might want to check out the hotel expansion. Paradiso Resort Hotel Expansion by French Gentleman is available on Creations and Nexus Mods. This mod is compatible with Paradiso Evolved by Checker90. Paradiso Resort Hotel Expansion adds a new tower that is mainly for decorative purposes. I applaud all modders who expand what we have in-game. Merci, French gentlemen. Next, Immersive Workbenches. I'd like to highlight a creation made by a longtime channel member, SweetP704. Immersive Workbenches by SweetP704 is available on Creations. This is a very useful free creation because it adds compact and interesting crafting stations to your ship or outpost. I've tried mods like this before, and I always seem to run into issues with them being too close to each other. They would not work for me. This creation, however, worked great. I was able to build a table and place 3 different crafting stations right next to one another. I think this free creation is a great idea for anyone who wants to equip a small space with many different stations. Great work, SweetP704. Next, Summon Ship Assistants and Traders. These mods appeared on my radar because the modder updated them. They make it possible to bring ship techs and a trade authority rep to your location for brief interactions. Summon Ship Assistant by Meridiano Russ is available on Nexus Mods. Rich Authority, or Summon Trade Authority Rep by Meridiano Russ is also available on Nexus Mods. Both mods require the console command runner updated, which depends on SFSE and the address library. Here's how you use them. If you want to summon help to build or modify a ship, press Left Alt F2. And as you saw in the video, that actually brought up my NVIDIA overlay, so I might change that in the TOML file. If you want to sell a ship but not buy one, press Left Shift F2. If you want to swap vehicles, press Left Control F2. And finally, if you want to access Marcel, a trade authority vendor, press Left Alt T. In each case, you have 10 seconds after pressing the key combination to get the NPC's attention and do your business. This is really useful for me in a couple cases. First, it's an easy way to sell contraband. Second, it's an easy way to switch vehicles at any location. The second mod also increases the credits available at each trade authority station and refreshes their goods list. This is not that important to me, but it is nice if you want that. Great work, Meridiano Russ. Next, Mod Index and BA2 counters. Prolific modder Laurent Kiar has been adding to their Starfield engine fixes mod. There is a new capability to display a mod index count and another to count the number of BA2 archives in use. Starfield engine fixes by Laurent Kiar is available on Nexus Mods. These are mostly useful for troubleshooting, and I encourage anyone interested in that aspect to check out the Nexus Mods page linked in the video description. From what I've read, the theoretical mod index counter limit is 65535. The 2 values I show here for my own use are obviously much lower. I've seen some players reporting much higher numbers, but the latest limitations appear to involve BA2 archive counts. To gather some data on this problem, Laurent Kiar added a BA2 counter to Starfield engine fixes. There's apparently something called an asynchronous BA2 limit, which is 255. In my 2 examples, I had one with 72 and one with 118. Check out Starfield engine fixes if you are having game crashing problems and you suspect that these 2 values might be involved. And finally, Watchtower update. If you've been waiting to buy the incredible Watchtower creation, this might be the time to take a close look. Bethesda published version 1.03 to the Creation Store after apparently 21 days of review and quality assessment. There are a ton of good bug fixes in this update. I plan to reinstall Watchtower and start over with another character, now that I have a better idea of how to get the most from the new mechanics and quests. Let me know if 1.03 fixes any concerns you have had with Watchtower. Thank you, Kingath Creations, for your continued support of your mod. And thank you to all my subscribers. Please consider subscribing to show YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content. Check out my Dalek. He's met his match with the security robot. Special thanks to all channel members. I hope you are enjoying our private Discord server. If you'd like to know more about membership, click the join button on the channel. There is no obligation. I use your contributions to pay for drives for capturing footage and to buy creations to review. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for a positive and honest discussion of the game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. If you subscribe, you will see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the word Dalek. Also, Remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Look at my Dalek running. It's so funny. Check out my other videos, and please tell your friends about the channel. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield.
Welcome to Mast. If you don't have a fish, take care now.
I really hope all this historical junk